Welcome everybody, Kelly here. Today we're in my shop. I have my 97 3rd Gen 4Runner here. We're going to do an LED bulb headlight upgrade. We're also going to change out the fog lights and the ditch lights, so stay tuned. About a year and a half ago, I upgraded these LED bulbs already. I took out the halogens and installed some bulbs from ECT Restorations. Unfortunately, after about a year, one of them died, so I put some halogen bulbs back in. So anyways, let me show you what those look like just with the regular stock yellow bulbs. Not really sure how well this will come across, but they're at nighttime out in the streets. They're pretty dull, pretty yellow. I got some white markers in there so you can kind of see the white marker, and that's sort of what we're getting. The beam itself, that's inside my shop. It's hard to tell because I have some equipment in there, but you can kind of see it's actually sort of diagonal, so it doesn't really show all that well. But anyways, let's go ahead, let's change out these bulbs. Let me quickly show you the bulbs that we're going to be putting in. So today we're going to be using some LED bulbs from Oxbeam. Here is the part number of the bulbs that we're using. So let's quickly open this up. Come in a nice fancy box here. And that is the bulbs themselves. So they look pretty nice. Let's go ahead and pull these out here. So those are the bulbs, comes with some instructions and whatnot, everything that you're going to need, some stickers. Anyways, let's take a look at one of these here. So there's the LEDs. Last time I did these bulb upgrades, I wasn't able to run basically the cover or the dust boot. Unfortunately, it doesn't look like I'm going to be able to do it on this one without severely cutting them or modifying them. So I might get myself an extra set after and do that. What you can do is you can take the outside of this bulb and you can take it off and turn it into two pieces, but that still doesn't help the body or the fan for the cooling. It just doesn't fit through nicely, and it's just not going to work. So basically, I ran it before this way. Yeah, we'll just see how it goes. I'm going to install them like that, and like I said, probably down the road I'll cut one of these up. I'll just get myself an extra set just so I have my originals, and maybe I'll cut it up and see if I can modify that later. All right, so we're on the driver's side. I've taken the battery out. You do not need to do this at home. I did this just so we can film and get some good footage in there so you can see what's going on. So let's go ahead and let's just start taking this apart. Now, this is really basic. All we have to do here is we have this cover here and we have the plug. You can go ahead and essentially just pull on the wires and just sort of wiggle it. You don't want to pull on the wires too much. If you can get a handle on the connector, you can just pull that off. This was nice enough that it just came off on its own. It's marked top. You can see that it's marked top there. Just put that off to the side. Then we have the bulb in its location. So all we're really doing is just unhooking it from here. That just comes off like that. So it's essentially just hooked right in there. That's easy enough. That swings out of the way, and then we pull the bulb out, and you can see the locations of the tangs there. And away we go. Okay, let's go ahead and quickly install this bulb. So like I showed you earlier, you got to separate the two pieces. This will orientate just like this. Basically, the wide part goes to the bottom and the single one up top. Then we will put this tang across here and just lock that in there. Make sure that's down and flush. The bulb will go ahead and twist in. And you can basically tell that it's orientated correctly because the words are up top. Now, this is pretty basic. This plug only goes in one way. It's basically this 3-prong here, and that's it. Now, if you would like, you could zip tie this down, maybe just so it's not bouncing around as much and somewhat secure. You could just sort of zip that all together just like that. So that being said, let's go ahead. Obviously, I'm going to install my battery back in, and we'll just go ahead, and you can go ahead and do the other side. I'm not going to bother showing you. It's basically exactly the same thing. So let's move on to the fog lights and ditch lights. Well, I got both of those headlights installed. So far, they're looking great. Obviously, it's really bright in here, so you can't really tell what's going on. Stick around to the end of the video, and I'll show you how we can adjust the headlights, and we will also check the pattern in the dark. So anyways, now let's get on to doing the fog lights and the ditch lights. All right, let's open up this box, see what we got inside here. Got this cover, some manual, cool sticker. This is going to be the full wiring harness for it. Basically with the relay and the switches everything that you need to install them. Now, I've got mine pre-wired already because I have the vehicles already built for both of them. And here we have the lights themselves. So they come with the clear lens already in there. They do come with these ambers as well. So let's go ahead, let's just pull these out. Let's see, this is the bracket for mounting them. It's got four screws right on the front here, and we can go ahead and replace these in and out. On my truck, what I'm gonna end up by doing is, for the ditch lights themselves, I'm gonna leave the clear lenses. I kinda like the clear higher up, and I wanna put the amber down low. Currently, I already have the amber up high, and it doesn't work out too great actually. I don't really like the color up that high. So we're gonna switch those to the bottom and we'll put these on the top. Okay, so we're underneath the hood. I've already had my ditch lights wired up. I have a system already ran for these. So basically it's the same kit that we were basically talking about already. So it has the wiring already there. I already have my relay installed. So that's already taken care of. So in order for me to change this out, I just need to pull the connector off. I have my ditch light bracket mounted in here, and I have a couple of zip ties with my wiring. So I just need to quickly get rid of those. And we'll do the same thing on the other side, then we'll just quickly unbolt them and rebolt them in. So now you're probably saying, why didn't I just change the lens and leave these here? Which I definitely could do, but these ones are already a couple of months old. So we're gonna go ahead and put those in the bumper, and we'll put the nice new shiny ones on, and we'll leave these here. In my previous video where I just did a walk around, I'll link those right up in the description here. I was mentioning that the fog lights that came in my bumper, I wasn't too happy with those. So this will be a really good upgrade. Okay, well I got those tightened up, got the cables ran back through, zip ties back on, plugged in. Obviously they're both working right now. We'll check those out in the dark shortly. Let's get on and let's do these fog lights really quick. Okay, so if I didn't mention it earlier, this is a coastal off-road high clearance bumper. And that's what she looks like there. We got these cubes right in here. These things aren't very great. I got them with the bumper and yeah, it wasn't so great. So obviously we have a Warren Evo 10K in here. That's what I'm rocking right in the front. Now this thing slips on just pretty simple. It slips onto the main end of basically the body rail right here. And we have two short bolts and a long bolt that goes all the way through and sort of sandwiches that whole thing in there. So I get to try and lift this thing off, but I have a helper over there hiding over there. So we are going to go and try and do this together. So let's get these bolts undone. We got those fog lights in, messing with the bumper and the winch and everything. A little bit of pain in the butt. I'm not going to show too much of that because most of you probably don't have coastal off-road bumpers, and if you do, you probably have that already figured out. So anyways, let me quickly show you how to adjust these headlights, then we'll check the beam pattern and we'll have a look at it in the dark. Okay, so let me quickly show you how to adjust these headlights. So what you're going to see here is we have two channels basically, or two openings. One is right there and the other one is right there. Now what that's going to do here, this one, you can take a regular Phillips screwdriver, and what that will do, that will go down there, and you can see this screw right there. It is essentially turning this screw and moving the headlight basically up or down. Now, the only thing is here is you can see the second one, it's down in the back, just down right in there. That's the screw hole that you're going to get to. Unfortunately, a regular Phillips screwdriver is not going to do that. You're going to need some type of extended length Phillips screwdriver to get in there. And what that's going to do is we're going to go down in here, and essentially we're going to go down in the back. So like I said, down in there, and you can see the screwdriver down in there. So that is how we're going to adjust it. So let me show you how we're going to actually do it too though. So what you can do is you can do this outside against a building somewhere. Just put yourself up against the wall somewhere, and you know, you try a couple of different distances just to sort of see what it's like. Now from here, it kind of looks just like a bright white, you know, mess maybe to you. I'm just standing in the front. So now for me, I mean, it's pretty obvious. You can see this side is basically light, a little bit low right in there, and this guy is a little bit high right in there. So what I will do is I will get to those adjustments and I'll try to bring this one up a little bit, get it even, and then I'll back up a little bit further and sort of just see where it's projecting that way. Like, you know, when it's 100 feet down the road, it's not sort of like way up in the sky. You know, obviously it's not, doesn't seem like it's down too low anyways right now currently, but basically we can try to check and make it go like this. And we have a tiny little bit of left to right movement, but not too much, sort of by moving the two adjustments. It's sort of more like that. So anyways, let me quickly adjust those and we'll see if we can improve this a little bit. All right, so I was able to get my adjustments set, and you can see they're pretty much even. There's sort of a line that goes across the doors. You can kind of sort of see it from that side and to that side. And basically equal. It shows a little bit extra here, but that's just mostly just on camera. I'm not actually seeing that while I'm here, but they're basically bang on. It's pretty even, so I think it looks pretty good. It's definitely a lot whiter, a lot brighter. This is actually pretty insanely bright. Out on the road or out on the trail, this is going to be very, very bright. Obviously, this is just looking from the front of the car. Let's turn this thing around. That is what it looks like with everything on. Yeah, camera doesn't do it justice. From here, this is pretty much blinding. So I think it looks pretty good. Well, that brings us to the end. Hopefully you got a little bit of information out of this. Please consider giving me a like on the video and possibly subscribe to the channel. We will be doing quite a bit more stuff to the 4Runner and to the Tacoma. So stay tuned to the channel, and we'll catch you next time. Thanks so much for watching. Bye-bye.